Hello there, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Doing a little bit later than normal stream. I promised I would get on here tonight and stream a little Wizardry, and that's what we're going to do. Fair warning, it won't be a lengthy stream tonight. Maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Just enough to whet our appetites a little bit. Whereas tomorrow night, we'll have a full-length stream like we normally do. For those of you that missed last night's, we dived right in to the remake of Wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. Probably one of my all-time favorite games. I grew up playing the Wizardry series. I think I played the original Proving Grounds, probably, I guess I was 11, maybe 12 years old. I'm not sure. It was 89. I'm terrible at math. So, anyways, I was hooked ever since. I played the original Wizardry on the Macintosh, not the Apple II. And then I played it on the NES. I played the PC version. I played the PlayStation version. You name it, I've played it. But this one is a beast of a different color, and I absolutely love it. Surprise release just a handful of days ago. It is a modern take on the original Wizardry. It is actually the Apple II code, the original game, the original code, with, I think it's Unreal Engine graphics wrapper around it. There are some modern quality of life changes that have been made to the game, but they are optional. Every one of the changes, anything that's new, can be turned off. So you can play Wizardry 1, old rules, old mechanics, as it was with the new look, if that's what you want to do. And if you do, I totally get it, because that was my first inclination, right? But I did want to see a little bit of what was changed and why it was changed. And I have to say, much to my surprise, I found a lot of the changes to be good, even if they're not really fundamental changes. Sometimes they were just rewordings of existing things, or a representation of things so that they make a little more sense and they're a little bit easier to grasp and understand. We had a blast the other night, and I'm looking forward to diving right in. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. And here we are. So again, I'm playing, of course, on the PC. It's the only version of the game thus far. I am using a controller just for the ease of use. It's easier for me to do that. Keep the keyboard open for Twitch things. Hey, Danny, how are you? Woohoo, says Danny. So what we did the other night is we essentially cleared the first floor of the dungeon. We started off with the pre-made characters just to get a taste of what was going on. Wiped the pre-made party. That was a lot of fun. So we rolled new characters. I kind of created the party that I always create whenever I play Wizardry, and we took those characters into the dungeon, and those are now our mains. And here they are. And if you missed last night's, I'll go ahead and introduce what we have here. We have, let's see, let's take a look at the roster. So we have Kyler. He is a good human fighter. The intention here is to turn Kyler into a Lord, which is an advanced class later in the game. We have Brundorf, a good, elf samurai? That's odd. I could have sworn Brundorf was a dwarf. The artwork is certainly a dwarf. Oh, either I misrolled that or something funky happened with the save data. I'm not sure which, but we'll go with it. Shorty, good gnome bishop. We have Frodette, that is our halfling thief. Merlin is our mage. And Wilma is our priest. Eventually, I plan to turn Frodette into a ninja. In Wizardry, thieves have sort of a fast track to becoming a ninja, which is a fantastic class. Any questions you have about the classes, any questions you have about the mechanics of the game, please, by all means, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer the best I can. So, looks like we need to do a little healing before we start. let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go to the inn, and the way I heal is I will cure the priest, or I will rest the priest, so that they get their spell points back. And then we head into the dungeon. It's a little time consuming, but I do this for a reason. And that reason is it's a lot cheaper to heal characters this way than it is to spend big money to get everybody a fancy room at the inn, when we can rest for free in the stables, which recovers magic points only. So we recover the magic points, heal with the spells, rinse and repeat. Gonna make one more trip to town, heal up, head back to the dungeon. Then we're gonna go ahead and venture into the second level of the maze. Now, if anybody watching wants to see something specific from the first level, don't be shy, drop it in the chat. So again, I'm gonna just heal up, max everybody out, because we're gonna need it. We're jumping into the unknown with level 2. I cannot believe that Brundorf ended up as an elf and not a dwarf. That is an embarrassing mistake. But it is what it is. He's a dwarf in heart. Alright, one more rest up for Wilma here. Then into the dungeon we go. So this is what we mapped out yesterday. Tedious mapping too, by the way. Now I know where I'm going, so I'm not going to cast a map spell or a light spell. Again, if you're watching for the first time, in the lower right hand corner there, you see the little white outline. That is the original Apple II version of the game running. That is what the game used to look like. Alright, so here we are at level 2. This is all we've explored of level 2 thus far. So we are going to cast some spells now. Merlin's going to cast that Dumapic spell, which is basically a mapping spell. Got an itch on the back there. There we go. And we're going to cast a Milwa spell, which lets us see hidden doors and things as we pass by. So again, second level of the dungeon. We ventured a little bit into it last night. We're really going to hit it tonight. I think we're going to continue to explore this upper right-hand quadrant up here, which looks like it's going to be a curly-Q sort of hallway. The monsters on this level are going to be a little tougher than they were on level 1. It's not a huge difference in difficulty, but it's noticeable. So again, I grew up playing the Macintosh and the PC version of Wizardry. Never played the Apple II version. So I think this version might even be a little tougher than what I grew up playing. And as we can see, this is a twisty, windy corridor that's going to end with the stairs down to level 3, which we're not going to go down just yet. I like to explore every level in full. Oh, so we talked about this yesterday. We've encountered 6 rabbits, which are Vorpal bunnies. And if you're familiar with Monty Python and the Holy Grail, then you probably have a pretty good idea what Vorpal bunnies are. That's essentially the idea here. So again, just for fun, we're going to play the Monty Python soundbite that everybody knows and loves. Bunnies. So what are we going to do with these bunnies, right? They're dangerous. So let's try to put them to sleep. That Catino spell makes the air heavy, takes the oxygen away from the bunnies, makes them sleepy. We'll see if it's effective. It was ineffective. But they are little bunnies, so they don't have a lot of hit points. But they bite. And we're about to see that. One bunny ran away. There he goes. Ooh, that bunny bites. That bunny ran away. And this little bunny went home. And that's a dead bunny. Again, you can see the original monster art there in the lower right-hand corner. So how bad are we hurting? Not too bad. Wilma took 2 hit points of damage. We can live with that. Back in the old days, you had to map these levels on paper, graph paper, one step at a time, or you would get hopelessly lost, because as you can see, everything looks very similar. And that's by design. We entered a 1-by-1 room here. Looks like it's filled with zombies of some sort. 6 zombies, that's what they are. So we're going to do this cool little maneuver here where my cleric is going to try to dispel the undead. That's kind of like when you see people hold a cross to Dracula, you're turning the undead away with your religious power. Sometimes that might miss, sometimes it might kill one monster, sometimes it might neutralize the whole line of monsters. Let's see what it does this time. She dispelled 3 zombies. Zombies are dangerous in this game because they can petrify and they can poison. But luck is on our side tonight. So here we have a treasure chest. In Wizardry, treasure chests are normally trapped. A thief or a ninja can inspect the chest for traps. A priest can cast a special magic spell that will discern if the chest is trapped. So let's inspect. It defaults to Frodette here, who is our thief. She thinks there's no trap in the chest, but we're going to assume it's trapped with a crossbow bolt. So she'll take those precautions. No trap. 40 gold pieces in the chest. Nothing else in this little room. So you notice the mini-map there in the left-hand corner, right above my picture. Shows us where we've been. Looks like there is a little something down here that we have not explored. Right through here. Click. The party unlocks the door with a silver key. The silver key is an item we found on level 1, and we found its use right here, apparently. So let's see what's beyond the silver door. 1 second, let me adjust this volume. I'm too loud. Here we are. So I think my Milwa spell may have expired. Let me go ahead and recast that. Wrong person. I always check for hidden doors. In this version of Wizardry, the hidden doors will be the wall sort of shimmering. It's easy to miss, even with the spell. 5 ethereal entities and 2 slimes. So what do we have here? As of yet, these monsters are unidentified. So I don't quite know what we're dealing with here in the back. So let's take some precautions, okay? This spell, Molito, is fantastic. It's a AoE spell, but we're going to just see if we can put these guys in the back to sleep. Probably not, but we'll try it. What have they done here? They cast Halito on Merlin. Halito is a fire spell. So the slimes are down, and now we're just dealing with whatever these guys are. And they're nasty, too. Gas clouds. So, if I remember right, it's been a while, but gas clouds, any gas monsters or giants, a lot of times this Catino spell would be effective. I could be wrong, it's been a long time. Let's see what it does, if anything. We have a... Ooh. It was ineffective, okay. So I could have had that backwards. But we're getting through it. Not terrible, not terrible. Pretty good experience haul from that fight, though. I do think... So Kyler's ready to level up, but we'll venture a little bit more. I do think it's time to maybe give him a little boost here, a little healing spell. There we go. So we are in a hall with a door directly in front of me. Let's go this way. A friendly group of level 1 mages. They hail you and welcome. You have the option to attack or to leave in peace. My party is made of good characters for the most part, so we're going to leave them alone, because if you attack friendly monsters, it's an act of evil, and your characters may turn evil. We don't want to do that. Dead end room. Looks like a dead end room. Let's see what's this door. Another door. Another dead end room. An encounter. One robed man. This is probably a magic user of some sort. A level 1 mage. Not the end of the world. Let's see if we can knock him out real quick. There we go. As a magic user, though, if he would have got that first hit, it probably would have hurt. So you don't play around with the robed people. So here we go. There is a statuette of a bear on a small pedestal. Behind it is a sign reading, "I got 1,000,000 of them." So we're going to search. The party found the statuette of the bear. This is an item that comes in handy later for accessing a certain part of the dungeon. So what I like to do is methodically, however you want to say it, explore. I try to leave no stone unturned. I try to leave every step of the dungeon explored. The party unlocks the door with the statuette of the bear. Nobody in the party can break the door down. So we need another statue here to progress. So onward we go with the exploration. Now we have some priests. Do I have anything that will hush them up? Not yet. I thought I did, actually. Let me go back to Wilma here. Shield, Blessing, and Zeal, True Sight. Yeah, here we go. Block spellcasting on a monster. Let's give it a shot. Alright, silence for 3 rounds, silence for 4 rounds, silence for 3 rounds. Fantastic. Although it's not taking much to kill him. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Alright, so once again, we cannot progress through the northern door, so we'll continue this way. So you notice something in the minimap here, and I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to cast another Duma pick, because I want to show you a cool little trick that they like to do with the maps. Even though the map is 20 by 20, it's almost like a sphere in that you can go so far to the east or to the west that you come out in the east, which is where we're at. Right now, on these coordinates, we are at 10, 19. But we went there by going from 10, 0. So there's lots of tips, lots of weird little tricks and nasty surprises when you're trying to map the dungeon. Let's just kind of see this hall to the end here. Let's see what's in here. Friendly priests, we'll leave them in peace. Nothing else in the room. Let's try this door. An encounter. We have a robed man. Probably another level 1 mage. We've been surprised this time. Let's see what he does. He swung and missed. Very lucky for us. Oh, we found a chest. We think it's trapless. And we're right. So we notice the gold rewards in the chest are starting to get a little bit bigger. Instead of being 40 gold pieces or something like that, we're now getting 160. Soon we'll start to see item drops from the chests. That's when it gets really fun. Alright, so we've been here. So where else to go now? Let me cast that. Uh-oh. Let me cast that Doom-a-Pick spell again. So we have another bunch of priests. I'm not going to try to silence them this time, because it went so well last time. Probably should have, though, judging by what I'm seeing here. All right. Okay, so we still have... Okay, I see where to go now. We have not been down here. Click. The party unlocks the door with the bronze key. So now you're starting to see sort of how the keys play a role. And then the statues kind of go in tandem. So I'd love to see what's locked behind 2 statues. 4 Vorpal bunnies. And I'm keeping an eye on the characters' hit points. If they get too low, we'll heal up, which is probably what we're about to do. I think I'm going to try to get through the battle first, just because I want Wilma to be there to hit instead of to heal. Which I think Shorty can actually heal now. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Shorty's got some healing spells, does he? Yeah, he sure does. He's got a few. Let's heal Kyler. And let's heal Frodette here. One more for Frodette. There we go. Alright, 4 priests this time around. Oh boy, not good. But I think we got it without too much trouble. They're starting to run away. Again, I love the artwork and the animation. This is the version, this is kind of what I've always wanted, is a modern version of the original game. But I was always afraid if they ever did it, they'd take too many liberties with it, and I'm grateful to say that is not the case. $120 gold that time. So let's go ahead and pop off that light spell so we can get a slightly better view of the room here. Four slimes. Are they creeping cruds? Are they oozes? What do we have? Ooh. And Kyler is poisoned. They are creeping cruds. That's the type of crud that creeps, by the way. Oh, who's poisoned? Wilma's poisoned. But I think I've got a spell that can cure that now. If not, we're going to hightail it back to town and probably get in several fights along the way and be in big trouble. Oh boy, I'm not seeing one. I thought I saw one the other day. Paralysis, sleep. But I am not seeing one for yeah, so what we have to do now is hightail it back to town. Otherwise, we're in for some big trouble here. So let's heal Kyler up. Oh, come on. Just give me a 1. Are you kidding? So we need to be prepared because chances are Kyler's going to die. Wilma's for sure going to die. As you can see, every step we take is causing damage. Not to mention any encounters that we might have along the way. So where am I at? Where are we going? South. What wizardry added the second row being able to attack? I know you could do it in 5 if you had a ranged weapon. Maybe 3. I can't recall off the top of my head. I think it was 5. Certain weapons with a longer range, the shuriken. I can't remember if there was a crossbow in Wizardry 5. It's been such a long time, but that's the one that would let you do it. I can look that up after the stream and get back to you next time. But I'm pretty sure it was 5. Right. Can we make it? I don't think so. But we'll come real close. And Wilma's out. And Kyler might make it. Or he might not. Nope, he did not. Alright, we made it to town safe. Do we have enough gold to bring them back? That's the question. I think we do. So to the temple. Oh, we don't have enough gold to bring them both back. Oh my word. So, how do we want to do this? Let's bring Wilma back. And what do we have? We don't really have anything we can sell. I think I might have one item to sell. Where's the shop? Right here. Sell item. I have one chainmail to sell. And a leather armor. And it was, what, 1,200 to bring her back? So here's where you kind of run into a new game that you have to play. Because what's going to happen is these characters are going to earn experience points as we fight to earn the money. And they're going to level while Kyler here is dead and he will not be gaining experience. So we're going to have a slight imbalance in the party after all this. Let's go ahead and level Merlin up. Merlin is our mage. Let's give him some agility, because agility will determine who gets to fight first, or who gets the first round. So we want our mages to be agile. Yeah. And Wilma is our priest. We want her to be agile. And lucky. Alright. So Wilma rested. Shorty rested. Merlin rested. So to town we go to do some healing. Or to the maze we go to do some healing. So let's get some healing in. Low Milwa. So we'll use that later. So we're going to heal Wilma. And you may be asking, well, how come this time the heal spell did 3, and this time it did 1, and this time it did 7? Why? Why is it so random? Because it's like Dungeons and Dragons. The game bases damage and healing on a virtual dice roll. Pardon me. So sometimes you'll get a good roll, sometimes you'll get a not so good roll. So we have a character dead, right? So some people may say, well, why don't you just load your save game and redo that fight? Because you can't reload your save game. The game autosaves. There is no cheesing the system in Wizardry per se. Historically, there were sort of ways to do it. But this version, we're very much keeping with the the real way of doing it. So we need how much to bring him back? 1,200. We have 415. So let's go ahead and grind a little bit of gold out. I don't remember that stuff being there before. Maybe that's my imagination, but I don't remember those items laying on the floor last time. I'm sure they were. I just didn't see it. So how long will it take to earn that much gold? I don't know. Let's see. I really don't want to go back to the second level, but we will if we have to. And keep in mind, Kyler was one of our hard hitters. And he's not there anymore, so it's going to be harder to beat these monsters now. I just want to see what kind of gold drop I get off this. To see if this floor is even going to be worth it. Excuse me. What do we end up with? 60. Yeah, at this rate, it's going to take a minute. So let's gingerly go to the second floor, right? Where the rewards are a bit better. And what we're going to do is just wander around this first area for a minute. You really don't even have to walk. Like, I could sit here and spin like this perpetually, and I'll eventually get a fight. But that makes me dizzy. So we'll kind of just do some of this right here. Oi, not enough gold to resurrect Kyler. Oh, not enough gold. Nope, not enough gold. So we're having to raise the gold. Oh, I shouldn't have Merlin in the front line at all. I just realized that's the case. So I'm going to do something cool here. I'm going to cast this spell, Molito. Molito causes sparks to fly out, damage half the monsters in a group. And we're going to pick the group that has the most monsters. What's Shorty got? Anything? Nothing I want to use right now. So you see that boom. That Molito really did the number on the monsters in the back row. This is where it starts to get fun because you start getting the spells that really pack a punch. Each party member receives 8 gold pieces. That was no fun. So again, this is not the most fun thing to watch, but it is a very wizardry part of Wizardry. You dare not do any real exploration without a full party. So instead, we're trying to earn the money to bring this guy back. I surprised the monsters. Don't let me forget, after this fight, I've got to move Merlin out of the front lines. Oh man, more poison. That's the problem with these creeping cruds, and that's really what killed everybody last time. It probably would have been worth my time to spend, I think it was like 500 or 600 gold to buy a poison potion, or a purification potion. Then the 1200 is going to take to rescue him, right? Now we got... Well, it's just Brundorf there that's poison. Not too bad. Alright. Can we pull it out this round? It's not looking good. Not sure why this happens. This might be a glitch. Merlin just skipped his turn for no apparent reason. That's happened a handful of times. So again, we receive paltry amounts of gold unless we get a chest. So let's change position here. Let's put Merlin in the back and put Wilma in the front. There we go. So at this point, I'm like, I really want to keep grinding gold, but if I do, Brundorf's going to die. So back to town we go to knock that poison off of him. He's got enough. We can make it to town from here, I think. Every few steps he loses some hit points. And here we are. Where are we at? 585. I need 1200 to bring Kyler back. So, to the inn for Wilma. Let her heal up. Let's go ahead and level Brundorf while we're here. Where do we want to put the stuff? Agility. Vitality. And Shorty, right? Shorty's our bishop. Give him some agility. Alright. Back to the maze to heal. So you see this, you start to see a pattern, right? Go to town. Go to the maze. Go to town. Go to the maze. It's all about using town as a hub. That's your base of operations. That's your safe place. You go into the maze. You get as much done as you can. You explore as much as you can. You loot as much as you can. You go back to town to lick your wounds. To sell off your loot. Which thus far in the game we've not got a lot of loot. But it's coming. So, back up to town to rest the healer. And then this time, by God, we are going to get enough gold to resurrect Kyler. Alright, let's bring this fella back. And I have this portion of the map memorized, so I don't need to keep referring back. Alright. Excuse me. Oof. Bah. Four priests and 2 leather-clad men. This might potentially be a good gold-garnering fight here. So how do we want to do this? Let's see. We got the 2 guys in the front. I like that. Let's hit these guys with something AoE like. Do I really want to? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We'll knock this fight out pretty quick. Did the spell not fire off? What happened? Only one guy. Oh, what a waste. What a waste of a Melito spell. Do we get a chest this time? Please, let's get a chest. No chest. The game's not being forgiving to me tonight. Oh boy. Zombies, but at least we get to use our dispel ability here. Except Wilma's paralyzed and now cannot use it. Because, of course. So, let's see. Merlin's awake, though. I'm thinking a fire spell here, perhaps. But we seem to be hanging in there. We'll see what kind of progress we can make without resorting to magic. And here we go with that weird pause and no action. Not sure what's up with that. Come on, give me a chest, guys. Help me out here. Three priests. These clergymen probably have some coffers on them, right? Let's see what we got. Give me your chest. No chest tonight. I think the skip turn is when you kill their... Oh, that makes sense. Not sure. Only happens when an enemy has died in the same group as the one being attacked by the skipping character. That could be. Now that you mention it, I think you're right. Because the old Wizardry would say something like... Brundorf strikes at the priest, but he's not there. Or his target is missing. Or something like that. I think you're absolutely correct. I do think you are correct. Alright, so these are the guys that cause us so much trouble. So we're going to kind of pull out all the stops. What do we have, spell-wise? Nothing that'll attack the whole group, unfortunately, except for Katina, which I don't think will be effective on a slime. What does Merlin have? So we're out of level 3 spells. And we really don't have any AoE spells in level 1 or 2. But we're still going to use something. Wilma's paralyzed, by the way. Should probably go to town, but I really just would like to get one chest. But at this point, it's to town we go with the poison. So you can see, the game is certainly unforgiving. Very hardcore, as people like to say. And that's kind of the fun of it, because there's a certain level of suspense, right? There's no guarantee in Wizardry that you're going to win. There's no save scumming, right? There's no reloading that save file. Like, I'm on level 2, so it's very unlikely that everybody would get wiped out. But as you venture into the game, it's a very serious possibility. One bad encounter can take out the whole party, and then their bodies are left dead in the maze. Equipment and everything. Now, they're not lost forever. They're there. But you've got to send somebody down to get them. And if you don't have anybody, it's like almost starting the game over again. It's enough to make you throw your controller across the room and quit in frustration. That's why, for me, a very methodical approach is the way to go. Baby steps, right? Don't rush. Alright. Back to town. Let's hope nobody else dies. Because if somebody else dies, we're in trouble. Like Frodette here is poisoned. Wilma is paralyzed. Shorty's got some healing spells, though. Or did, right? Where's my healing spells at? Oh, Shorty's my bishop, correct? Yes. Here we are. There we are. So let's heal Frodette up. Let's hope Frodette can make the trip back. We'll keep a close eye on her as we go back. The longer we sit around and do nothing, the sicker she gets. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We made it. Poison, thankfully, goes away when we reach town. The paralyzation does not. But I think I saw that I have a spell that will fix that. But Wilma had the spell. I don't think Shorty has that spell. So we're about to blow more gold at the temple to get her unparalyzed. So you see the money sink this is, right? Because we're so close to having enough to resurrect him. Meanwhile, she's sitting here paralyzed. Let's go to the inn, though, and level up who needs leveling. What happens if we try to put Wilma in the inn? Nope, only the temple can help her. So I want to check one thing. I don't think Shorty's got any spells that can fix her. Let's just see what we got. Oops. No. Let's see what the shop has. maybe the shop has something that will cure her that's cheaper than the temple. The temple was what, 600? Buy an item. Removes a poison condition. Heals a party member. Nope. They do not. So, what do we do here? Do we want to cure Wilma? Do we want to save... I mean, we want to save up the money to resurrect Kyler? To me, the answer is pretty simple. We want to cure Wilma simply because Wilma is our healer. She's imperative to the party. And there goes almost all of that hard-earned money. Got her spells recharged. Marlin's spells recharged. So I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that tonight was going to be a shorter stream because of the late hour. I think this is probably where I want to end it tonight for a couple reasons. That reason being, it's not a lot of fun just to watch me grind monsters over and over and over again, trying to earn some gold. That's something I can do in my free time. And I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll earn that money off camera, so that way we can stream something a little more interesting. I won't resurrect Kyler, I don't think, until we do tomorrow night's stream. But in the meantime, I'll just get us to the point where we can resurrect him. That way we can continue to venture in and have a little more exploratory fun. Like I said earlier, short stream tonight, just to get one in. Maybe hook a couple viewers. Thanks for watching. I think we are going to end it here. So we'll go back and we'll quit the game right here. And tomorrow, we'll put in a full good hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe even longer. We'll just see kind of how it goes, what we feel like doing. I'd like to clear level 2 tomorrow, set foot into level 3. And that's where things start to get a little fun. But thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the Wizardry Remake. And we'll be back tomorrow night with a little more action than we had this evening. Thanks again. I hope everybody has a great evening.